Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And today I'm talking about Black Americans carrying our own weight. So I went to the AI and asked, have Black Americans ever been a financial liability to the United States of America? And this is what I got. Absolutely not. And the historical record is very clear on this. That's what the AI said. Black Americans have never been an economic liability to the United States. Every credible economic study shows Black Americans have been an economic engine while the systems imposed on them, slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, discrimination, are what harmed the United States economy, not Black people themselves. That's what my husband has always said. Racism costs. We have been and continue to be the best citizens, the best workers, and the best advocates for this country. I'm going to give 5 ways that Black Americans have stabilized the economic health of the United States of America. Number 1, under slavery, Black labor was the economy. Enslaved Black people were the single largest financial asset in the United States by 1860, worth more than all U.S. factories, railroads, and banks combined. Their forced labor powered cotton exports. Over half of the U.S. exports revenue in the 1800s was from cotton. Black labor powered the banking and insurance industries. Black labor powered the northern textile mills. And we know the money on those southern plantations came from Black labor as well as the federal tax revenue. That money came from Black labor. Black people were the ones generating the wealth, not consuming it. The liability was the system that stole their labor. So we need to be clear about that. The system was a liability to them. Number 2, after slavery, Black Americans were economically productive, but barriers were put in place to block their progress. Research shows that Black Americans made rapid economic gains whenever they were allowed access to land, education, and wages. The barriers put before them slowed national growth. So that means that America slowed down its own growth by blocking the progress of Black Americans. A major 2024 study found that Jim Crow laws sharply reduced Black economic progress, and those restrictions had long term negative effects on Black families' income, education, and wealth. In other words, Black Americans were productive. The laws that were put in place against them were the liability, and it slowed the progress of the national economic growth. And none of this is surprising. We've heard it all before. Number 3, discriminatory policies cost the United States trillions. Economists estimate that housing discrimination reduced the United States GDP by limiting Black home ownership. School segregation reduced national productivity by blocking Black talent. And that was intentional, blocking Black talent. That's what the school segregation was for. Employment discrimination reduced innovation, and slowed economic growth. Black Americans were never the problem. The exclusion of Black Americans was. Number four, Black Americans built parallel economies despite oppression. Even under extreme restrictions, Black Americans created schools, churches, businesses, mutual aid societies, entire economic districts, for instance, Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. These institutions contributed to local and national economies. When they were destroyed, often violently, the loss harmed the United States economy, not Black Americans' productivity. So, what has slowed our productivity is really the actions that have been taken against us. Number five, modern data shows the same pattern. Black Americans participate in the labor force at high rates, start businesses at growing rates, and contribute significantly to military service, healthcare, education, transportation, cultural industries, and technology and innovation. The economic disparities that exist today between Black and white Americans are traced to historical oppression, not lack of contribution. Research shows that the long term effects of slavery and Jim Crow still shape outcomes today. The systems were the liability, not the people trapped inside them. Black Americans have always been productive in the United States of America. Black Americans have never been a liability to the American economy. The only liabilities were the systems that exploited, restricted, and underdeveloped Black labor. Whenever Black Americans had access to opportunity, they strengthened the United States economy. And whenever the country blocked Black Americans, it weakened the United States economy. And these are the things that we have to remember as Black Americans. We have always been productive in America because otherwise, what would be the point of going to the other side of the world and transporting shipload after shipload of lazy, non productive people to live in your backyard? What does that say about you? We have always been productive. And that's something we have to stand on, even as we hear people coming here who don't know what in the hell they are talking about, calling us lazy and every kind of name in the book. We stand on what we know. We stand on our dignity and we stand on our principles because we have always been nothing but an asset to this country, to this government, and to this economy. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about the video. Give me a thumbs up and have a great day.